What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Kingdom on Games Rock. This is going to be kind of a summary, a final thoughts type of thing, because I finally managed to beat it, and I wanted to reflect a little bit about how I was able to. So this is not the same game that I left off on my last video. I ended up losing that one, and I tried once more and lost again, and I learned a few lessons I was able to carry into this version, this final game. And so I'm going to. This is my kingdom. I was able to basically keep playing after the portals were destroyed, and destroying the portals is how you win the game. So I'm going to head back to my main camp and kind of share how I did it. Going from there. This is all on the left side. I've expanded really far out by now. So there's my catapults, and then there's the main castle. So what I did is, basically, at the very start, I kept my left side frontier just to right here, only a little ways out from my main camp. I had the wall here, the towers here, and the farm here. And they were able to hold pretty well, even when the monster attacks got stronger, because I didn't mess around with trying to expand further out from there, have my builders go out there. I kept them where they were, and had the builders with the catapult, the 3-man archer tower, the royal guards, and the wall, and everything. Just kept it there, and was able to withstand attacks pretty much every time that they tried from that side. So I actually focused first on expanding out this way. I learned a few things that would have made my last playthrough easier. First off, these farms with the buildings, I was always complaining about how the farmers would stay there at night, even though they were about to get attacked. But if you just make a level 1 farm, without making it level 2, there's no house there. The farmers will go back to your main camp at night, and so they won't get hit by the goblins. So that's not the first portal I destroyed. Let's see, for a while, I had my frontier out, did I even have it on? I don't remember. Yeah, for a while my frontier on my right side wasn't very far either, but I had the farms out here, but I only made them level 1 farms so that they'd get back behind the walls at night. Yeah, because I mean, like, that's my main camp right there, and I had that frontier be right there for a while. I totally don't need coins for anything anymore, so I'm just gonna... Because, I mean, the game's over, there's no more challenges for me to do. I mean, I could continue to grow and expand and fill all of the available build spots, but there's no need to do that. And so gradually I expanded on the right side to right here, where I had another archer tower and wall combination right there. See, there's a farm there I never even bothered to build. This was this the first portal? I don't remember if this was the first portal. I don't think it was. But he was the first. Oh wow, Coins is still trying to get in here. So for a while I was only able to upgrade that statue because the second statue is further out beyond the first portal. I expanded all the way out here. I did leave quite a bit of forest on this side, though. This was the first portal, I'm pretty sure. And I left that there. And once I got the first portal, I was able to expand to the second statue. And I just focused on this side. There's dudes. I can recruit some dudes if I want to. There's no need to, honestly, but I'm doing it. And then basically just the second portal back there, and then the bridge at the end of the world. So I focused just on focusing on the first portal, excuse me, the first side, the right side. I took it one side at a time, and focused just on defense on my left side. A couple things I realized that I didn't realize at first. Once you take out a portal, they send out a whole bunch of monsters to counterattack you, so you gotta be prepared for the counterattack. So once you set up your royal guards, you still gotta have a defense ready behind them to pick up where they're not there for. So that was the first thing that I had to do. Next thing I learned is partly because of that, but not solely, it's really good to have at least 1 farm on each side of your camp, especially before you're gonna try and start destroying any portals. Because once you get your town hall upgrade to the max, if you lose all your farmers, you have no more income hardly anymore, unless you have some archers who are lucky enough to be able to farm rabbits and deer. But that's not always the case. You gotta have some farmers. Once I was ready to start expanding on the left side, the problem was that there weren't any other archer towers for a long ways. So what I did is I just built one wall at a time. After the goblin attack, very first thing next day, I'd get my builders building the wall, and I just stay here and keep them building that wall. And by the end of the day, the next wall would be up, and the catapult would be back up here. And even though I didn't have an archer tower, my royal guards, archers, and catapult would still be able to defend pretty well. And then the next day, I'd try and expand a little further to the next wall, right here. And so on. I never actually got to another archer tower, because archer towers and walls together are obviously the best defensive combination you could ask for. But really, you just gotta make sure you have enough people, the catapult, and a maxed out wall. And that's really the best you can hope for. I had a big income right from the start because I was able to get those farms going. There's a lot of farms on this map that I had. I managed to get to that before the first portal. This is not the first portal. I think this was, actually. Yeah, there's some inconvenient places that I had to build. Like, sometimes there was a wall so close to a farm, or this was a wall building spot right on top of where the old portal was. You pretty much were required to build the one to build the other, because when you're standing on two of the same thing, you don't get to pick which one you want to build on. It's just decided for you. So you had to power through it, I guess. And this is all post. After this, because my frontier didn't expand out this far until after I beat the game. This is Blood Moon, but there's nothing going to happen. This was a defensive position I would have liked to have. It doesn't get any better than that. Archer towers on both sides of the wall. But that was just way too far out. I would have had to expand all the way. I just built that afterward because after I beat both portals, I didn't know if there was any Game Plus where bad guys would still come. There's not. The only thing to do is to try again. There's no New Game Plus. This is just me showing off my kingdom and what I learned. Just staying on top of your income and not letting your defenses get out too far until you're ready to protect them is the key. The game is still fun. It's going to be new every time you play it because the levels are procedurally generated. And there are Steam achievements that you can try and pursue as well. To give it that added challenge. You can try and win in less than 25 days. It took me twice that long, so that would be quite a challenge. Even now that I know what I'm doing, it would be really a challenge for me to do that. I don't know if I really want to try and do that. Or there's other simpler challenges where you like recruit 8 archers on the very first day, stuff like that. Those are just basic Steam achievements. I don't know if anything comes with beating them. I don't really know Steam achievements very well, or how that whole system works as far as what you get from them. Because I stopped caring about achievements before I started playing a lot of games on Steam. But yeah, I just really enjoyed it. You were seeing how it became kind of a slog at some point in my first playthrough of just trying to keep everything shored up and just having to get beat back and try and get yourself back together again, and it was kind of a grind. By the time you get a hang of what you're doing, and if you stop making mistakes, that won't happen as much. It'll take some playthroughs to get the feel for that if you get this game and play it. But it's worth it. You learn a lot the hard way, and it's not too random that you're going to have automatic losses no matter what, like in a lot of roguelike or procedurally generated games. This isn't that bad about that. It can be beaten, I would say, probably every time. You probably have to get really lucky to get a setup where you can beat the game in only 25 days, though. I don't know. I don't think I intend to try that, but I will play the game again in the future. So that's all I think I have to say about Kingdom. I really enjoyed playing it. Thanks again to Jacksepticeye for playing it and making me want to play it because it looks so cool. We'll keep playing games because games rock. It's easiest to not let them get to the point where they can make that dive. Okay, stop it! Oh, I didn't even get the power up. Oh, I'm upset now.